Welcome to the very first podcast of Glossed and Guo'd, and today I have a
Chelsea.
guest. Yay, Chelsea! Yay! All right, so this episode will be debriefing about the modeling industry, the crazy stories, and confidence. So, my guest today, we both have somewhat of an experience in modeling, right?
Modeling industry.
So Chelsea, do you want to tell us a little how you got introduced to the modeling industry?
Yeah, of course. So I've always been pretty interested in the fashion industry itself, but I didn't really consider modeling as an option until I was around, I want to say 12 years old. My mom was invited to this very small fashion show where she was kind of like, her and her dance group was opening for this one fashion show. So my family attended, and I remember bringing my little digital camera and recording like small videos of the models like one by one walking down the runway, and I was like very encaptured. I was super inspired, and like immediately after that I started trying to like walk like a model. Like, it was really funny. I just remember past that point, like as I was growing, people were telling me more and more like, "Oh, you're so tall, like you should try out modeling, like you just have the figure and the height for a model." So I was like, "Okay, why don't I try this out? I'm pretty interested." And that was also the time when I started getting modeling videos on my TikTok. So I was like 13, 14. So I asked my dad, "Hey, like can I maybe take some runway classes or modeling lessons?" So he had a friend of a friend who like teaches like modeling classes. So I went to their studio and I started out. It was pretty fun, and that introduced me to some small runways like over the summer when I was 14. After I did a few runways, I applied for this competition or like convention called IMTA. That's basically a convention where a bunch of agencies kind of come around and try to find or scout new talent, and these models and actors will come and kind of try to show the best of themselves and try to get signed by an agency. So within that, like when you first sign up for the convention, you kind of get paired with a mother agent. You don't have to necessarily sign with them, but I ended up signing with my mother agent. And out of that, although I got a bunch of callbacks, like I want to say 20 plus callbacks with different agencies. And it was a really good experience. It was a really good experience, and I'm super grateful for that whole experience. But I think out of that, it was more the mother agent that was like more valuable to what I got than the callbacks, because eventually my mother agent was the one who connected me with my agency that I signed with shortly after. I signed with the industry, model management, in LA, and then, well, now I'm not with them. I'm actually, just the other day I signed with the new agency. I forgot to
Oh,
tell you.
no way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, can we talk about that? Like,
Yeah.
how was the whole process of like, how do you sign with one? What is like a mother agent?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different ways to get signed to an agency. I would say, well, the way that I got signed, I don't think most people
Mhm.
have that route. It's either by scouting. Technically, I've scouted through my mother agency because my agency went on my mother agency's Instagram and found my picture.
Oh.
But that's a pretty common way, I think, like getting scouted on Instagram or TikTok. Sometimes a agency might contact you on one of the social media websites, and they might shoot you a DM like, "Oh, like would you be interested in modeling?" Like, obviously you have to be really careful because some of those can be phishing or scams. So you always have to check that if it's a legit agency. And the other way would be, I guess, applying through their website. Usually a agency will have like a want to become a model page or like apply now. And basically what you have to do is you take digitals. So that's very simple, like headshot, full body, like profile, quarter, like just different basic photos of yourself in basic clothing, like that shows off like your figure and also like no to minimal makeup. And you send those pictures to the applications for agencies, and hopefully one of them reaches back to you, because that's basically, I feel like, the most common way that people get signed. But yeah.
Yeah, I had like the same experience, except I never had like a mother agent. Me and Chelsea, we took like the same modeling class, and that basically introduced us to a lot of like opportunities, like runway opportunities, and like what is the one in front of the camera? Like catalog, where you're
Oh,
just like,
like shoots?
yeah, shoots, just like those basic ones. And like I remember you have like before you get in like with the whole modeling industry, you have to take digitals, and I took one with like this guy. His name was like Dominique, and he was really professional. Everything, like they guide you through everything. He provides you with all the outfits. And I remember like he gave me two of the outfits. One I really liked. Oh, three of them.
Uh-huh.
I really liked one of them. It was like this really cute shorts moment with like a leather jacket. But then he gave me an outfit that was like, it did not suit my body type at all. Like it was super turtleneck, like it was super thick, and it just made my broad shoulder, like I have broad shoulders, and it just made them look even more, it just made it look even more broad. And then I like wore these boots and like a super short skirt. But like I guess like for models you have to know your proportions. And for me, I have like super long legs. So if I wear like super short skirt, it just accentuates my legs a lot. I think the pictures turned out well, but I don't think how he styled me was good. But anyway, like there was a whole makeup
Mm.
artist and everything. It was my first time getting my makeup done professionally. And it was really good. It was like a complete different makeup style. And we just like went around the area where we like live and stuff. We went to the beach. Oh, you need these digitals before you apply to like any kind of like
So these
agency.
were digitals, not like a test shoot?
No,
Or
these were digitals for
okay,
like to
because
apply.
typically for digitals, when you want to apply to an agency, you would actually usually just be like in a plain tank top and like skinny black jeans and just take them
Mm,
against a white wall.
yeah,
And typically, from what I know, agencies actually don't like it when you have like a background, or if you're wearing extra, like a jacket or like
I
yeah.
know.
So typically I feel like for shoots like that, it would be better as like a test shoot,
Hmm.
like to build your portfolio. But when you want to apply to agencies, definitely keep it simple. That's like the best.
Yeah, which is like I remember I took these like digitals and I got like they didn't accept them.
Yeah.
It's like
Like it's
crazy.
definitely, yeah. I mean, did you pay for that shoot?
I didn't. I didn't.
Okay, good. Because some like people like they make you pay, which like it makes sense, but you don't want to pay for digitals,
And they're
especially
so
since especially
expensive.
since like digitals, like they can be taken on an iPhone. You don't even need like a photographer for digitals. Like
Yeah.
some agencies even they'll even say we prefer iPhone photos.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't even know
because
that.
because some agencies they don't like it when like you overdo, because like what digitals are supposed to be, at least when you're just first applying to an agency, is just like you, like the raw you, like
Mm-hmm.
no makeup, just like plain clothes. They just want to see like what you look like in that time. um but obviously when you do get signed to an agency, they'll take more professional digitals of you, like with an actual photographer, but even then it'll be very simple.
Yeah. I feel like they just want the raw and bare you.
Raw you.
Raw. So like while you were talking about like I was talking about classes and stuff, like how if someone wanted to start modeling, like how like what do you do in those classes? What do they teach you? Like how does the
um
class go?
I'm not gonna lie, I slightly regret taking those classes. Not because of what I learned, but because some modeling classes, like taking them for a while could be like beneficial to you, maybe, but it's honestly not worth paying for classes when you could be learning those things through just like experience in the
Hmm.
industry, or like practicing yourself, just like knowing what to do.
Hmm.
But I mean, I can't like I don't like regret it, but like I don't think it's the best way to get into the industry, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like there's better ways to do it, and you definitely should not really be paying that much money when you're
Yeah.
first starting in the industry.
I feel like the modeling industry is like almost kind of a scam. Like they want to
Yeah.
make profit for over anything, like
Mhm.
classes, digitals, and
Yeah.
like it's crazy. So do you think like the best way to get into the modeling industry is to just submit like digitals?
I feel like, yeah, me personally, if I could restart, the first thing I would do is just take good, clean, like solid digitals and just send them to like
Mm,
as many agencies and mother agencies as possible. I know you've said for me to touch on mother agencies, but I forgot to
it's okay.
earlier. But mother agencies are essentially like an agency for you to find other agencies. They kind of are your like overarching agency that kind of manages, because when you sign with an agency in like for example LA, but you want to get work in like market in New York, you might want to sign with another agency, but that's going to be in New York and they could be different agencies. Your mother agency kind of is like helping you manage like both, I guess. It's like the mother agency and then the agencies are like sub
Yeah,
agencies.
they basically like help you scout for other like opportunities, right?
Yes.
And like I know you went to a lot of like show or like you had a lot of like not gigs,
Jobs,
a
yeah.
lot of jobs down in LA. I
Yeah, for
remember.
sure.
How are those?
Those were okay, cause we don't live in LA. We're like
Mhm.
kind of Orange County, so the drive up there is always like a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's definitely worth it to me. But those jobs are really good experience. I started going on these jobs when I signed with my agency
Hmm.
back in January 2023, and so I signed to my agency like a few days before my 15th birthday.
No way.
I know it's
Was
been
it
that
that? It's
long.
been that
It's been
long.
that long.
What the heck?
I
Oh
know.
my
I
god.
signed with them a few days before my 15th birthday, and from that I got lots of good experience. I definitely will say I was pretty young. So a lot of like opportunities were kind of like missed out on because
Hmm.
of my age. Like a lot of, yeah, it's kind of harder to get work if you're a minor, but I did get some good jobs. I will say my favorite jobs were probably shooting e-commerce for Asics. um I know like e-commerce is kind of a drag for a lot of models because you're kind of switching between like different outfits for like hours on end. Like some people will shoot like 30 to 50 garments like per job. It's like a lot of, how you go to the mall and you just try on different clothes to buy,
Yeah,
but you get
yeah.
so overstimulated. That's how
Yes,
I feel
yes.
on
Oh,
e-com jobs.
really?
Yeah. But it's still fun because you get to interact with all the people on set, your photographer, the stylist, your makeup artist. It's a good way to like make connections and talk to people, and it's also probably one of the more higher paying jobs in the modeling
Hmm.
industry. For e-commerce, you get paid a lot as opposed to say Runway.
Yeah.
Runway pays little to none, I would
Yeah.
say.
It's actually
Um,
crazy.
yeah, like
I feel like
especially,
runway is harder too. Or
yeah,
like
it's
it's more physical, I feel
yeah,
like.
for sure. I would say so too, but that's the thing. Like I would say Runway is more glamorous, as opposed to the behind the scenes work like e-commerce. And because of that like glamour or like exposure, and like because like models might want to do it,
Hmm.
that just like is kind of an incentive for the model to do it anyway, even if the pay is low. So I think that's why they're not really
Um,
paid that well.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Have you ever gotten your makeup done and like you just were like not used to it at all?
That was like definitely in the beginning. I would say I got pretty like paranoid from like them
Really?
using the same brush, or like,
Oh,
or
really?
but they didn't use the same brush. I was like
Oh,
thinking
okay.
like, oh,
Oh,
why
okay,
are they
okay.
using the same
I
brush?
was
But
like,
then I see like they have different like spoolies for
hmm.
everything, so it's all clean. But as it went on, I definitely enjoyed getting my makeup done and hair done by different people. it kind of helped me with my own makeup skills, I would say.
Oh
Like I
wow.
like learned how to make my base better
Oh yeah.
and stuff that maybe I couldn't learn on just TikTok or Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
but like real life experience. But yeah.
I feel like when I was getting my makeup done, they just like they just randomly gave you these like amazing tips. They're like, "Oh yeah, like make sure you like powder this part of your face before like you apply it." And it actually like was a
Yeah,
game changer.
because these are all makeup artists that went to school like for.
And they just dropped the bomb like and I'm like, "What? Okay."
Yeah.
But okay, I have like a crazy story to
Okay.
tell
Yeah.
about
Tell me.
modeling.
Tell me.
So, this was the summer of last year. So this was like 2023 summer, and I
Summer of last year, the 2024.
2 years ago,
Oh, 2 years ago.
2023,
Okay.
2023. Oh my, it's been so long.
Mhm.
2020, the summer of 2023, I got this like runway like job for like I think I was doing like volunteer work because when you're a minor, you have to get like some companies need like minors to have a work permit. And I didn't have one yet,
Oh.
so they didn't pay me. But like I wanted the experience, so I was just like, why not? And then there's also this girl the same age as me, but it was I'm not gonna say the brand name or it was I'll blur it out. It was
Sounds really familiar.
and they're a like prom dress, bridal dress company. And it was so fun. I got to try on like 50 kinds of dresses and it was so much fun. I felt like I was playing dress up. Like
Yeah.
it honestly like brought the inner 6-year-old in me because I was like all these like floor length dresses. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
"Oh
yeah.
my gosh."
Some parts of modeling are definitely glamorous like that, I would say,
Yeah, they're
but
so
not all
fun.
of. Like, I would
Yeah.
say maybe half of it.
But um most of the adults there like they were super experienced and so we had to go on the runway and like switch back into another dress and literally halfway till the end of the show they realized like this random like staff member walks into the back rooms and was like you guys like the cameras were on the whole time in the back room so like basically when we were butt naked. And mind you, like when you're a minor, that's a no-no,
Oh
okay?
my
Like that's
gosh.
actually illegal. So me and this girl who were both underage, we were like, what the heck? And apparently they had the security cameras still on in the back like
Oh
backstage.
my gosh.
And we were all like, because the show was still like going on, we were like, what are we gonna do? And so we just like ended up having to move around some stuff and like having to change in the back. But it was
So what
crazy.
happened to that footage after? Like, it got deleted,
We don't
right?
even know. And like, you know how normally there's people like sitting where the cameras are? Like they have to like,
Yeah, the security staff.
we don't even know what happened. And it
So
was
no one followed up afterwards,
like they said they would delete it, but I guess it like I don't even know. It was like
that's crazy.
just
I've never heard
terrifying.
of something like that. Honestly, like that was it one of those kind of like small fashion shows like in a hotel or something?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, those ones are always very sketchy.
Yeah.
And I know you said like you were a minor and like you didn't have your work permit, so that's why they didn't pay you. But a lot of times, like those kind of shows in those small hotels, like they won't pay you even if you're not a minor.
I know.
Like
They did give me a $400 gift card.
that's nice, but it's very, very sketchy sometimes. That's why. Did you get that? Did you get that job like connected through that modeling class that we did?
No, I got it cuz the day after I had a pageant. And the pageant, like I think they were just like they were looking for some models through the pageant because they had a show right before us. And they
Was the
looked through,
pageant through class?
yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like those kind of modeling classes, they can be like not just scammy, but it can be very complex. Like that, like it's not just like a simple scam. Like, oh, we'll like get this much money from you and you'll get this like low quality like modeling class. Sometimes it can be like, oh, like we'll give you, we'll have you like model for the show, but that show might be like not like fake, but it's just like you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I just wanted the experience, guys.
Yeah.
Because also, like, we're both high schoolers. Like, I feel like modeling takes up so much time. And we both have, like, academics to focus on, like, extracurriculars. And, like, as like a high schooler. This is, like, prime time. This is, like, sophomore and junior year. It's actually crazy. So,
Yeah.
we
I
had,
think
like,
we're all very inexperienced at that age, and you're also, because of that, you're pretty vulnerable to different scams in the industry. But that's why get an agency, guys. Like, agencies are there to protect you and make sure that you don't like fall under any of these like horrible stories.
yeah,
Yeah, like sketchy things.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Those are some crazy situations that definitely you want to avoid. So get an agency,
Yeah.
guys.
And then, like, I did a couple shows down in like San Diego. That one was really fun. And then I did this one in LA. That was my last show. I didn't really like commit to a lot of it cuz I was super busy with like other stuff. But the San Diego one was really fun.
Oh, really?
It was hot heart or something like that. But it was at this like big convention center sort of like thing. And it was for like big department stores like Nordstrom and like JC Penney and like Macy and stuff. And I knew a couple of the people I knew before like in the industry and stuff, and they were also there, so it was really fun. And all the outfits we wore really fun as well. And I don't know. I feel like there was like a lot of people my age there. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was really fun. That's all I have
I'm
to
glad.
say.
I'm glad.
Do you have any crazy stories?
I
Or anything
don't
like
think
crazy
crazy
experience, like
stories.
surreal, like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Probably the first time. Okay, wait. So this was when I was signed with industry, and I got this job to go have like a beauty shoot for this beauty brand,
Oh
and
my god, is this a Sephora one? Dude, this girl her face is on freaking Sephora. It's actually crazy.
thank you. But that's the thing. Like when I got this job, I didn't know it would be on Sephora.
Oh, really? They didn't
Yeah,
tell you?
so I got the email and it was like option, because like when you get jobs, it'll be through email and they'll just like say, oh, option for this. And options just mean like, oh, they're considering you for the job, but you're not confirmed yet. But then I got confirmed for it. It was for this brand called Cieli or Cieli, and or CLA, but it's CIELE. But when I like saw the brand, I like never heard of it before, and I searched it up, and there was nothing about it. So I was like, oh, like what is this for? I was like kind of confused because I've never heard of it, and they didn't have any online presence. But I went to it anyway. It was a really fun experience. I like it was my first ever like beauty job. I've done like beauty test shoots before, but this is
Yeah.
like my actual first job for a beauty shoot, and it was really fun. I got to see like them actually do like in beauty stores, you'll see like swatch things like on the
Oh,
arms. I
yeah.
saw them doing that. That was really
Did they
cool.
do it on you?
No, they had like
Oh my god.
a lot of different models, and like for
Oh.
my skin tone, you don't really need that much
Yeah.
variety. We had a lot of models with my skin tone, so you only needed one. But it was really fun. And then I left the job and I went home, and then I forgot how much time passed since then. But then one day I thought to like check up on the beauty brand, like, oh, maybe like I'm on a website now or something. So I searched up the brand and I didn't find the brand's like website, but then I went and I saw like first link come up and it was like Sephora like new brand like CLA, and then I clicked on it and then I saw it was on Sephora and I didn't know it would be on Sephora.
Oh
So
my god! What the heck?
so that was very like pleasant surprise. It was really fun. Definitely one of my favorite moments. Just like a nice surprise for sure. And I want to think of any other cool jobs I did.
Wait, what was that one where like you had like the blue makeup?
Oh, that was a test shoot.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
How was that?
So when you like um
Insert photo.
when you do like modeling, you need to have test shoots pretty often so that you're building your portfolio. Cause um, think about it this way, like it's part of like your resume, I guess.
Mhm.
Like when clients are trying to book you, they want to see what kind of work you've done, see if you'd be a good fit for their brand. So either you'll try to find collabs on Instagram, like by DMing photographers, or maybe they'll DM you asking for a collab, or you have to maybe pay a photographer. Although that's like it's definitely recommended by agency to do that because you're kind of investing into your portfolio. But because I'm a high school student, I haven't really done that much because those shoots can be pretty expensive. But
They
this
can be
was
really
a
expensive.
collab. I think he DM'd me and he just asked, "Oh, would you be down for a shoot?" So I had a shoot with them, and his wife was the makeup artist, and she was really
Oh,
nice.
aw.
And I that was a really fun experience for sure. I want to think of any other jobs that I've done that are particularly interesting. Oh yeah, there was this one time that I got an email and it was like, "Oh, Maze and Margiela," like.
Oh my gosh, wait, I need to hear this, guys.
So I got a email and it was like option for Maze and Margiela, like live event or something. And I was like kind of confused. I was like, "What's a live event? Is that like a trunk show maybe?"
Mhm.
So I got confirmed for it, and then I went to the store. It was the Maison Margiela store at Melrose Place,
Oh
and
my
it was
god.
really fun. They had me like put on a few different outfits like every hour or two. Um, it was really cool. I was like wearing like luxury pieces. And basically they
Wow.
had me and then they had another model. He
Mhm.
was a male model and we were both just walking around the store kind of like being live models for their shoppers. And I never thought of that as a job that you can have as a model, but that was a really cool experience as
That's so
well. Yeah.
cool.
Like I got to try on tabbies for the first time from that.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
What
but they
the
were like
heck?
high-heeled tabbies. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
oh
really
my
fun.
god. What the
And I got to interact with customers.
heck? Mhm.
Actually, wait, no. That's how I met the photographer. Okay, you know the blue makeup that I
Yeah,
told you
yeah.
about? He didn't DM me on Instagram. He was one of the shoppers shopping at Maison
Oh, what
Margiela.
the heck?
And he
Crazy
saw, yeah,
crossover.
yeah, crazy crossover. He saw me like live modeling at Maison Margiela, and he was buying like shoes from there or something. And he saw me and he was like, "Oh, are you a model?" And we exchanged contact info, and then a week later, he was like, "Oh, come down to LA for like a shoot or something."
Oh
And
my
that
gosh.
just shows like how far like networking and
Mhm.
yeah, talking to people can get you, because you can get
Mhm.
another opportunity from one job. So
Yeah, and like that just like proves that anything can happen. And
yeah,
anything can like you can make a living out of anything. Like who knew like you can be a live model? Like that's honestly like such a good marketing like
yeah,
technique though.
for sure.
Cause like you're
You're
literally
seeing,
standing in
yeah,
front of
it's like
the
a mannequin,
customers.
but like a real person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wait, did the guy ask you if you were a model and you were modeling?
Um, well, he didn't say like explicitly, "Are you a model?" But he was just like asking me what I was doing, like for
Mm-mm.
this store, and then me and
Yeah.
like the male model that I was hanging out with,
Mhm.
we like explained to him like, oh, because me and the male model that were hired, we were both pretty confused because we both like
Oh,
we
really?
never like knew that this was a thing, and
Mm.
the job description itself didn't really give us that much insight into what we were doing.
Oh.
And the people that were working there, they kind of just put us in these clothes and they just like told us to walk around. But
Wait,
yeah,
that's kind of funny. Were you like
yeah,
sketched out at first?
a little bit, yeah, because like I don't know if you well, I don't really go to luxury stores that often,
Yeah.
obviously, because I'm a high school student, but um the store was like empty almost for like a lot of the time. There would be like one or two shoppers that would come in like every like few minutes, but like a lot of the time it was
Yeah.
empty. And I
Yeah.
didn't know that luxury stores were like that cuz like but it makes sense cuz
Yeah.
yeah.
Because they're like luxury. They want the top, like, they want their fashion pieces
Shoppers.
probably like worn and stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, wait. So we're talking about like the modeling industry and like all of our crazy experiences and like how it gave us these opportunities, but do you feel like the modeling industry has impacted like the way of you viewing yourself?
Definitely. For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the modeling industry can be really toxic at times, especially when your body and like the way you look can affect.
Self-image, for
Yeah,
sure.
has it affected you?
Yeah, definitely. I would say definitely. Before I started modeling, I've always been a very like you know, like we actually
Mm-hmm.
grew up together.
Childhood best
Yeah, I've
friends.
known her since like we were like 2,
Yeah.
but you knew that I've always been a very like skinny like I literally struggled to gain weight
Mm-hmm.
when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would eat like all this stuff and I would never like gain a pound.
Where would
And
it go?
I was like very thin and then also like very tall as a kid, and I never worried about like my body because of that. But then when I started modeling, that was also the time when like puberty came
Mm-hmm.
and I was like finally starting to gain some weight. And I was like because like before modeling, like no one told me oh you have to stay like slender or like skinny. They were all telling me to like gain some weight. But after being in the industry, everyone was telling you like, oh, make sure to stay in your measurements. Let us know if you like change, like if your body type changes, you have to let us know. Like the agency tells you that. And then I guess like my parents also like kind of
Yeah,
reminded
of
me to
course.
like stay like eat healthy. I kind of naturally eat healthy because um my body like kind of doesn't really like fast food a lot. Like I sometimes genuinely get like stomach aches from fast food, but then like yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've always
I feel like
I've
it's all genetic too.
yeah, like I'm just kind of naturally inclined to eat healthy,
Yeah,
but
most
I guess I was just more aware of it when I was
definitely.
modeling and also just like staying fit. And I guess it kind of got in my mind a little bit, like, oh, maybe I don't know. Like it never affected me like that much, but there was always definitely a voice in the back of my head saying, maybe like not eat that much for that dinner, or like maybe you should like be
Oh,
exercising
really?
more. Not like in a horribly toxic way, but I would definitely say,
Like, be more cautious of it?
yeah, like I was definitely more cautious. Yeah.
Yeah, I also feel like when you're doing all of these like jobs, you see these adults and they're already like grown into their bodies, and that just makes you kind of feel like obviously you can't really compare, but when you're there, you do end up comparing yourself with
Mhm.
these like women and like their perfect bodies, like their perfect measurements, like
Mhm.
what's like the perfect golden ratio, like
Mhm.
the
And
hips
also
and
like
stuff.
low key height, cuz
Oh my god,
when I first
yeah.
started modeling, I would say 5'8". That was like when I was just starting though.
Mhm.
And I would be like a couple inches shorter than everyone else cuz standard like runway height would be 5'10", 5'11", and I was kind of shorter than everyone and I was slightly insecure about that.
Wait,
But
cause me too.
yeah, but I like literally like I was literally like saying, "Please, universe, please make me taller." But I mean, I did get taller eventually. So just like stay patient, guys.
Yeah, she
I'm
is
sure you guys will
5'10",
grow.
so
I'm
she
5'10"
is
now,
that.
so I'm finally in that little yeah. But sometimes I still have like not body image issues, but definitely not fully secure within myself.
Mhm.
But I definitely want to get to that point. Like for example, some things you can't control, like my proportions. I definitely feel like I have a longer torso, so I used to like want my legs to be longer instead of my torso, but you gotta accept your body.
Yeah, I think you have to just I know everyone has insecurities. And also, I know like not just the modeling industry, but social media nowadays can like just instill these like unrealistic beauty standards on like young girls and stuff. And I feel like we are so blessed to like have just started social media when we're like kind of
Yeah,
mature.
we grew up kind of off social media.
Yeah.
The most we would see is like Minecraft videos on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Not like the influencers yet. Or
Yeah,
like influencers super
the
rare.
Get Ready With Me,
Yeah.
the Glow House. What is that?
Oh, but I feel like social media has just imposed these super unrealistic beauty standards on young girls. Like, remember when the Sephora girls were happening? Like the Sephora kids, like
Yeah,
they're just buying these, like
the drunk
yeah,
elephant.
the drunk elephant and like the golden dewdrops. Like, girl,
Yeah,
you're
you
still
don't.
like 9 years old, and you have perfect skin at that age, and
Yeah, don't ruin
like
your.
where's your awkward justice phase? Like,
I
oh my god,
know.
we had a
We had a
big
justice
justice
phase.
phase.
That was so funny.
But like I'm saying, like I feel like so many of these young girls, like they're putting like pounds and pounds of makeup on, but in reality, like no one is like that in real life.
Hmm.
And I know it's fun to experiment with makeup, but I feel like when you're young or when you're exposed to that kind of like material, you have to kind of accept the fact that and know that everyone has their own insecurities. Like the Kardashians, they seem so perfect, but I bet they also have their own insecurities, and like a lot of people get their work done and nothing's real, or like they photoshop this on Instagram, and like those IG models, like no one is perfect.
No one's like that in real life.
Yeah, no one is like that in real life. So why should you be like that in real life? And you should just be really like you should just accept and try to love your insecurities and be confident with what you are and your natural beauty.
Yes,
And I
for
think that's like
sure.
the top thing
For
that
sure.
our generation Loki needs to realize,
They
because
need to hear that.
it kind of
Accept
affects
yourself.
me too. Like,
Hmm.
and it affects like all of us. Like,
For
I get
sure.
insecure a lot of times too.
Hmm.
And like going off the like the height question, I'm like one of the tallest. Like, I'm like pretty tall. Like, I'm 5'9" myself, and I'm like going into these jobs, and we all have to wear heels and stuff, and so that just like boosts our height. But these women are like so tall, and I feel so short, and I've
Mm.
never felt like I've always been tall
I
ever
used
since.
to like feel like too tall when I
Yeah,
was younger
and
because
then when
I'm
I'm
like
going, yeah.
taller than every other person, like every other girl, like in my grade. But like, and then you think of it as a blessing, I guess, when you're in the modeling industry.
Mhm.
But then sometimes you might even feel too short. But also, guys, know that like there's always different kinds of modeling that you can get into in the industry. Like when I was signed to the industry, and I'm guessing also now, like with natural models, um, like each agency they have like a good range of heights. Like I know a lot of girls who are 5'8", 5'7". They might not necessarily do runway, but they're probably booking a lot of jobs in beauty or
Mhm.
e-com or just like commercial
Face
shoots.
cards.
Yeah, or editorials even. Like you don't have to have a certain body type or height to work as a model. Like
Mhm.
honestly, you're probably getting more bank as a e-commerce like
Yep, get that money.
but
If
yeah,
you were gonna do like any type of like modeling style, what would you do?
like my favorite
Category.
kind of like job to
Mhm.
do. Um if money wasn't in the question, I would say runway. I've always loved runway. Um I thought of it as one of the most fun parts of the modeling industry and also like probably the most glamorous because you're like wearing usually like couture or like
Yeah.
higher fashion clothes. But with money in the question, I would probably say like maybe mm, commercial shoots or like editorials or like maybe campaigns.
Oh, that's a good
E-commerce,
one.
it's like very e-commerce is very like good paying, I would say, but it's just sometimes a little bit repetitive. But honestly though, working with good people always makes a job fun.
Yeah, I feel like relationships are good.
I definitely, no
Yep.
matter what profession I continue to do, I really hope to just meet new people, good people to talk to. I feel like that's what makes life interesting and less repetitive.
Yeah, it's not about the destination.
It's
It's
about
not
the
about
journey.
No, it's not about the journey. It's
It's
about
about
the
the
company.
company.
It's about the company. But yeah, I feel like I would do editorial. Cause
Editorial.
doesn't like wait, I feel like Zendaya, wait, doesn't she do I wanna do that. Like it just seems so fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Like
for
I love
sure.
being in front of the camera and stuff, so like
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like I would enjoy that a lot.
So are you still like modeling? Do you want to continue like going down that path?
For now, I think I'm taking a little break on it just because of like college apps.
I'm
Because
scared.
we're rising seniors, which is crazy. Hello? Why
Oh
are
my
we
gosh, I
literally
attended my friend's
seniors?
graduation the
Oh
other
my
day.
gosh, it was so sad. I think I would continue modeling as like a part-time thing in college or just like in the real world because I have kind of the experience and like kind of the knowledge and it's just like that extra money. And also just like for fun. Like I love doing it anyway. It's just like the time right now.
Right. Cause like I told you guys, I recently signed to natural models.
Oh yeah, let's
yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah, so like I left the industry last August, so it hasn't been a year, but like I'd say yeah, it's been a while kind of. And during that time, it was just all junior year stuff. And as you guys probably know, junior year is pretty busy. And so I didn't really that was basically my break from modeling. I didn't really do anything. I did a couple test shoots with different photographers that reached out or I reached out to on Instagram. And those were just like for me like kind of passively building my portfolio while not actually modeling. And then recently, in the past like 2 months or so, I kind of reached out back to my mother agent and I told her I'm ready to find a new agency. And so she helped me get a few like meetings set up. I met with state management and I talked. Well, she even pushed me out to this Miami agency, but I'm not really interested in the Miami work market just because that's more swim stuff. But connected me to national models. And what happened is one of the agents used to work in the industry while I was in the industry.
Oh, so they know you?
Yeah,
Or like know of
from
you?
the industry model management.
Oh.
And so that's why he kind of like was telling the other agents like, oh wait, there was this model who I used to work with in this agency. I'm interested in having her in this agency. So he reached out. They set up a little Zoom meeting, and I just recently signed with them like last week ish. That's really fun. I really like natural models just because they're very inclusive and like compassionate, I feel like. They were during the meeting, they were explaining to me like how they're kind of different from other agencies because one of their agents is a former model. So she kind of gets it from the model's perspective and she knows how there's not that much support sometimes in the industry for models. What they did was they created like a website and an app for the models. Is that bothering you? She was very nice and she explained to me like their website and it's basically this community forum for all the models at that agency.
Oh,
and it's like all the models in the agency can kind of like form a community and like reach out to each other for like support within that agency, which I feel like is really cool. And I feel like a lot of other agencies should try to adopt that. I feel like it's a really cool concept.
Yeah, I feel like more agencies should do that. And
Yeah.
also just like I feel like a lot of models are neglected nowadays and just
Yeah.
like treated really terribly.
And also
That's
what I love
good.
about this agency is they're very because I mentioned inclusivity. They're very inclusive, all body types, all kind of like heights, like all different facets of work. It's really like inspiring how like inclusive they are. I really like
Really
it.
good.
Yeah. So it's definitely lessens the toxicity and I hope that
Yeah.
like it'll help me like be brave and trying out new things in the industry for sure.
I bet it would.
Yeah.
I actually think it would.
Yeah.
So that concludes my first podcast of Glossed and Guo'd, where we talk about things that are glossed or overlooked in the world. And we covered basically most of the stuff about like modeling and like the industry itself, and how the industry, there's a lot of criticism, and how that also leads to like confidence, and just like the crazy stories, or just like how we go about our day in the lives as teenage model, I guess. And I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes.
And do you have anything to add?
I don't have much to add except just be confident in yourselves, guys. Like, don't let the toxic pressures of life try to stop you. Believe in yourself, and you guys
Yes,
can get through anything
yes,
for sure.
yes. Believe in yourself always, and never let anyone else's words bring you down, because you are so much more than what people see you as, because you are beautiful inside and out.
Yes.
Yes. So that concludes Glossed and Guo'd. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.